I'd like to start by saying thank you to Mr. Hanrahan for inviting me here today to share this time with you guys. I'd also like to take this time to publicly thank my friend and mentor, Mr. Bob Bernier, who I met 33, 34 years ago as a freshman in his Latin class. He is a big reason why I am in front of you today. So thank you, Bob. Just give me a second. I got to get pumped up. Who's my favorite band? Right? Who said that? Very good. Very good. Right? Gotta be quiet. I'm getting in the moment here. All right. Hey, it's had to go somewhere, right? Get a little fired up. Again, thanks for inviting me here today, Mr. Hanrahan. So, in preparation, a couple weeks ago, I was reading something online, and it was speaking about it was an article about Generation Z, and so I did a little bit of deeper digging about Generation Z, and it has to do with Generation Z and the people at the top end of your generation. So again, we think about Generation Z, it's people born from 1997 to the year 2010. And the article is about, and there's been a couple of studies on this, a couple of polls. It's about the people at the top end of your generation who are now feeling disconnected from their work. And some even saying that they are feeling like 68% of those surveyed are feeling burned out. And many factors have been noted, such as repetitive work, again, jobs relegated to repeating tasks, rising expectations without increases to pay or appreciation, okay, a tough workplace culture, and the isolation that especially comes from hybrid work. So as I thought about today and what I could share with you, I thought I would try to share what I would think are ways for us to, going down the road, handle some of these situations. I would say first thing to do is to study something that you are passionate about, and to go into a field that you're passionate about. I know that when I ran off to college, I initially was going down one path, and then I went to my orientation day, and I ended up sitting down in a small group with a poli-sci professor from Providence College. And it turned out that he ended up talking my language. And so I forgot about the initial path I was going to go down, and then I came back home and told my parents that, hey, I'm going to change my major to, I'm going to switch from being an English and secondary ed major and just major in political science. My dad looked at me like I had 6 heads. What are you going to do with that? Well, I figured I could use it somehow and come back to Fairfield Prep someday and teach social studies. And I got to honestly say that in my 26 years of doing this, I have never felt burned out. I have never felt disconnected. It's never happened. And part of the reason why is because I am surrounded by young people each and every day that I'm working. And there's also a built-in work-life balance with education. But more importantly, it's about you and the fact that there's all these young people here and there's a bunch of new faces that I could connect with each and every day. And that's really, really something special. Well, let's talk about other ways in which we can handle some of these issues that might confront you down the road. So let's start with opportunity. They say opportunity is often missed because it is dressed in overalls and looks like hard work. Some of you have heard that before. And that we will separate ourselves from the rest by doing the little things right and well. So even though we might be in jobs where we have repetitive tasks, each and every day we have the opportunity to separate ourselves. We have the opportunity to challenge ourselves and to expand our horizons by doing hard things. Another thing that we could do is we could think of ourselves like the artisan, as Mr. Gallagher pointed out. When I look around this building, I have the fortunate pleasure of saying that my father was an iron worker who helped build this building. And each and every day, when I walk by here, I'm able to take a look at the glasswork and say, my father did that. We have the opportunities to do that too, even though we are not putting things together. We might not be engaged in painting or we might not be doing something that we look at as artisan type work. But if we think of ourselves as the artisan, we will put everything that we have into our work. And how do you separate yourselves in this world of AI that Mr. Gallagher talked about? In this world of repetitive work, you make it your own. You do it in a way that nobody else can do it. And you make sure that at the end of the day, whether it's you hand that assignment in during your college years, or you finish that project with your team in your working years, you are proud to put your name on it in the end, just like the artisan. The struggle makes it all worthwhile. One of the things that I've seen, especially this year, more than ever, is I have witnessed guys, especially in athletics, valuing themselves based on their outcomes. We cannot value ourselves based on outcomes. Our work is what we do. How we live our lives is who we are. When it comes to our work, when it comes to our effort, we have to make sure that we find value in that process. The effort that we put in, the strategies that we applied. And while you will achieve success and while you will have victories, in the end, that's not what it's about. The satisfaction will come in the appreciation that you have for what you did to get there. Again, in many respects, you have to think like that artisan. Father Boyle mentioned to us earlier this year that Fairfield Prep isn't a place you go to, it is a place you go from. Mr. Bernier, Mr. Gallagher mentioned this as well. We have to remember where we come from. We have to remember that Fairfield Prep is the place where we were formed. And we have to stay true to how we were formed. When I think about this idea, I also think about it in terms of home. As again, Mr. Bernier mentioned. And there are two quotes from home that I like to think about. And this is kind of in a spot you're in today with Fairfield Prep being part of your home. Home, it feels good to leave, and it feels even better to come back. You guys are about to leave what has been your home for the last 4 years. And while maybe a couple of you might come back to do what I do and some of the other adults in this room are doing, the reality is that the majority of you will come back as alums. And I can honestly tell you that when I walk down the north stairwell of Xavier, so that's the stairwell that faces McAuliffe, and I walk up the north stairwell of Berkman's, the smells are eerily the same as they were 30 some odd years ago. And when I walked down those stairs, I remember leaving Mr. Bernier's Latin class, which was on the second floor of Xavier, my freshman and sophomore year. And when I make my way up that north stairwell of Berkman's, I'm reminded of making that trek up those 4 floors to go to Father Barry's Western Civ class. Again, it's eerily the same and also very comforting. But you guys are going to go away from here. And this is where I want you to remember that home is not a place, it is a feeling. And when moments get tough, when the fat's hitting the fire, I want you to think of home. And I want you to think of all the lessons that you learned and the man that Fairfield Prep helped you to become. And while you're out there in this world making your way, I want you to make sure that you remember to lift as you rise. To make sure that you look out for others. And in those opportunities that you have, you take advantage of. And when you find success, that again, you pick other people up along the way. Next, if you think of yourself as a finished product, you probably are. We must continue to grow. We are living, breathing organisms. In the class of 2025, I got news for you. The work is not finished. Guys up front are looking at me. What do you mean, work's not finished? The work is not finished, guys. In some respects, it's just starting. In others, class of 2025, even though the spring musical has passed and the concert is over, and classes, for some, are wrapped up. And even though graduation's on Friday, your work here is not finished. And this is the toughest part about the end of the year for me. Is that, fellas, we still have games to be played. We still have classmates to go cheer on. We still have ample opportunities to be together as the class of 2025. We still have the opportunity to be there for our teammates, to show them the support, to pick them up, to celebrate their success, and to empathize with them when they struggle. But most importantly, to support them. We also still have opportunities to show growth, whether that be on the rugby field, the tennis court, the guys that are out running track right now, on the lacrosse field, on the water, or on the baseball diamond. We still have opportunities to grow. And we still have opportunities to finish this strong and to show that we got it, that we learned. And we also still have the opportunity to put a couple of additional 2025s on banners. So with that, guys, we always got to remember the 3 words of all Fairfield Prep men. The words that'll keep us going in times of struggle. And I hear a couple guys mention it. It's never say die. It is part of who we are. Father Tom put it in our fight song many years ago. And it lives with us everywhere we go. And we think of home, and we think of this place, and we think about those moments, we make sure to remind ourselves that we never say die. So, fellas, for one last time, with me and all of you, let's wrap this up with a prayer. Good and gracious God, We ask that you give us the strength to be the best sons, brothers, teammates, classmates, friends, down the road, spouse, father, that we can be. We ask you to give us the strength and the wisdom to do all those things, to be our best selves. We ask all this in your name. Amen. Gentlemen, thank you for everything.
And now, Fairfield College Preparatory School presents the Most Inspirational Teacher Award to Rudolph Mauritz, class of '94.
Well, there are some moments from high school that I regret. That moment being one of them. But I'm glad the film exists, and I'm glad that we're able to get a glimpse into what life at Fairfield Prep was like when Tim Niak and I's dad were rolling the halls of prep together. You guys know, Fairfield Prep is a very special place, and you are all very special people. And as both Mr. Gallagher and Mr. Bernier mentioned, each one of you has a special gift, has something you could bring, has some sort of value add that you could bring to a relationship, to a team, to a business. Each one of you has it. Don't be afraid to use it. Go out there and get after it. Have yourselves a lot of fun. And of course, remember Fairfield Prep, because we're never going to forget you. Have a great day.